Namaste, dear students. I hope you are ready with your materials to learn. So it's my immense pleasure to welcome you in our another episode of Unit 2. And today we are going to learn something new. We are going to do some task, So for that one, you have to be ready. So do you have your English textbook, notebook and pen or pencil? Very good. If so, without any delay, let's begin. So can you guess what are we going to learn today? So first of all, let's recall what we learned in our previous class. Can you tell me? Oh yes, we learned about telehealth service. Its challenges also and how it is accelerating also, These things we discussed. And the reporter asked the questions and Mr. Chan answered all the questions, okay? And it was very clear to us. And today we are going to do some activities on the listening skill. Similarly, we will do some activities on the speaking skill. And finally, we will practice pronouncing some words, okay? So is it clear, all of you? If so, now all of you be ready with the listening task, okay? Before you start listening to the audio, you have to look at the pictures first. Now, look at the pictures and answer these questions. So how many pictures do you see? Yes, there are 3 pictures. The first, second and third picture. So can you tell me, dear students, what is doing in the first picture here? You are right, trimming the nails. Now can you tell me, why do we need to trim our nails? Yes, it is related to our personal hygiene. In Unit 2, our theme is health and hygiene. So our personal hygiene, we have to trim our nails. Otherwise, there can be health problem. Okay, if we keep our long nails and if our nails are very dirty, that's not good to our health. That's why we have to trim our nails. Is it clear? If so, now you can tell me about the second picture. What do you see? Yes, you are right again. See, hand washing. So during pandemic also, COVID-19, you might have frequently washed your hands, okay? You might have used that hand wash, sanitizer, and there are steps of hand washing also. Do you really follow the steps of hand washing? If you follow, that's very good, because if you don't follow the steps, at that time there can be virus in our hand, and when we eat something, that can go inside us and we may suffer from different types of dangerous or fatal disease, So for this one, we have to frequently wash our hands, okay? Or you can use sanitizer. And similarly, what do you see in the third picture? Can you tell me? You are again right. See, you can see teeth brush, yeah? Brushing up our teeth. And it is also very important. And like these, you can find there are many other activities that we have to follow in our daily life to be healthy under personal hygiene, okay? So you have to polish your shoes, you have to wash your socks regularly, you have to comb your hair very finely, you have to do such things, and then only you can maintain your personal hygiene. Otherwise, there will be a high chance to be suffering from different types of disease. Do you like to spend sick life? No, not at all, We always try to be healthy. We always try to be healthy and energetic, So for that one, we have to follow very strictly our personal hygiene, okay? So after this, we have discussed already. So do you regularly do these activities? Why? Yes, of course. And if you haven't done from today onwards, you must do these activities, okay? Not only these 3 activities, all the activities that come under our personal hygiene. I have already told you that if your socks is smelly, at that time it's not good, okay? You have to wash regularly, daily, so that it won't give us any smell. And similarly, you have to wash your hair. You have to take bath, maybe once a day, or you can say twice a week, that's what you have to do. So these are some activities and we have to regularly do, okay, as per the necessity. So dear students, I hope from this you can guess what we are going to listen to today in our audio. So can you tell me what is it about? Okay, don't worry. For this one, you can listen to the audio and be familiar with the task given below. We have a task. So I am going to play the audio for how many times? You are already used to. Yes, I am going to play for 3 times. The first time I play the audio, you just listen and you just read all the questions and be familiar what you have to do, what are the major ideas that you have to find out. And in the second time, in my second play, you have to do the task, okay? And then finally, I will play the audio for the 3rd time, and at that time, you have to just check your answers, okay? So is it clear, all of you? Very good. If so, now I want to play the audio for the first time, and you all read the questions together and try to find out which one is the best answer, which one is the correct answer, okay? Listen to the audio and be familiar with the task given below. And number A, personal hygiene means taking care of our bodily health and well-being through. Now you have to find out in the audio whether it is cleanliness or clearness or holiness, okay? Number B, dirty clothes and blah 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 blank space, okay, lead to the breeding of germs. What can be the best answer? Dirty hair, dirty shoes, or smelly socks? You have to listen in the audio, okay? We had better change the toothbrush every month or 2 months or 3 months. What can be the correct one? Long and dirty nails can cause what? Skin problems, food poisoning, dysentery. Number E, Sam works in the sales department or marketing department or land department. And another one is Sam hasn't let's say comb his hairs for many days, or Sam hasn't trimmed his nails for many days, or Sam hasn't shaved for many days. Which one is the correct one? You have to find out from the audio. And next one we have is Chris suggests that Sam shouldn't use deodorant to get rid of his sweating problem, or detergent to get rid of his sweating problem, or deodorizer to get rid of his sweating problem. Which one is correct? Now I am going to play. Listen to it very carefully.
Personal hygiene involves taking care of our bodily health and well-being through cleanliness. It means that you bathe using soap and water every day and shampoo your hair regularly. Check your hair for any signs of lice and dandruff, and use a medicated shampoo if necessary. When it comes to grooming, always wear clean and washed undergarments, clean and ironed clothes, and a fresh pair of socks every day. Sweaty clothes or smelly socks bother other people around you and also cause breeding of germs. Always remember to clean or polish your shoes. You must also brush your teeth twice a day and floss once a day to avoid gum problems. Change your toothbrush every 3 months and use a good quality toothpaste. Use natural mouth fresheners like green cardamom or fennel seeds to keep bad breath in check. It's also very important to keep your nails clean and trimmed at all times. Dirt can easily accumulate beneath long nails and cause bacteria to breed. Dirty nails not only look terrible, but can cause food poisoning and other diseases too. Another very important thing to do is to wash your hands with soap and water before and after eating food, after using the toilet, and after coughing or sneezing. It's a good idea to keep a hand sanitizer handy for when soap and water are not available. Let's look at a scenario to understand the importance of good personal hygiene and grooming. Sam has recently joined a retail store in the sales department. He notices that customers approach him for queries, but they appear uncomfortable and then go to the next counter. Because of this, Sam's sales are suffering. He approaches his friend Chris for advice.
Chris, I am quite worried about not being able to make any sales. Customers come to me, but then they quickly go away without making a purchase. I I think I know what the problem is. Apparently you haven't been paying attention to grooming and hygiene.
What do you mean?
See, you haven't shaved for many days, and it looks like you need a shower. Your body odor could be turning customers away.
Actually, I had been keeping busy the last few days and didn't have time to take a bath.
Well, if you don't shower or wear sweaty clothes, everyone can smell it, even from a distance, Sam.
But what can I do if I sweat a lot and end up smelling even if I take a bath?
You can use deodorant on your armpits every day after you shower, Sam. But remember to not use too much, because the fragrance then gets too much and can make other people uncomfortable.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyhow, now that you have seen how your lack of grooming and hygiene is affecting your work, you must promise yourself to take care of it.
Thank you, Chris.
Dear students, I hope you might have got the idea about the text in the audio, and at the same time you might have been familiar with the task. Now I am going to play the audio for the second time, and in this time you have to do your task, okay?
Personal hygiene involves taking care of our bodily health and well-being through cleanliness. It means that you bathe using soap and water every day and shampoo your hair regularly. Check your hair for any signs of lice and dandruff, and use a medicated shampoo if necessary. When it comes to grooming, always wear clean and washed undergarments, clean and ironed clothes, and a fresh pair of socks every day. Sweaty clothes or smelly socks bother other people around you, and also cause breeding of germs. Always remember to clean or polish your shoes. You must also brush your teeth twice a day and floss once a day to avoid gum problems. Change your toothbrush every 3 months and use a good quality toothpaste. Use natural mouth fresheners like green cardamom or fennel seeds to keep bad breath in check. It's also very important to keep your nails clean and trimmed at all times. Dirt can easily accumulate beneath long nails and cause bacteria to breed. Dirty nails not only look terrible, but can cause food poisoning and other diseases too. Another very important thing to do is to wash your hands with soap and water before and after eating food, after using the toilet, and after coughing or sneezing. It's a good idea to keep a hand sanitizer handy for when soap and water are not available. Let's look at a scenario to understand the importance of good personal hygiene and grooming. Sam has recently joined a retail store in the sales department. He notices that customers approach him for queries, but they appear uncomfortable and then go to the next counter. Because of this, Sam's sales are suffering. He approaches his friend Chris for advice.
Chris, I am quite worried about not being able to make any sales. Customers come to me, but then they quickly go away without making a purchase. I think I know what the problem is. Apparently you haven't been paying attention to grooming and hygiene.
What do you mean?
See, you haven't shaved for many days, and it looks like you need a shower. Your body odor could be turning customers away.
Actually, I had been keeping busy the last few days and didn't have time to take a bath.
Well, if you don't shower or wear sweaty clothes, everyone can smell it, even from a distance, Sam.
But what can I do if I sweat a lot and end up smelling even if I take a bath?
You can use deodorant on your armpits every day after you shower, Sam. But remember to not use too much, because the fragrance then gets too much and can make other people uncomfortable.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyhow, now that you have seen how your lack of grooming and hygiene is affecting your work, you must promise yourself to take care of it.
Thank you, Chris.
Dear students, I hope you might have finished doing your task. Now it's time for checking your answers, okay? So now I am going to play the audio for the last time. You just listen to it and check your answers, whether you are right or wrong. And in this time, you can even correct your answer if you have done mistakenly, okay? Now you just listen to it and check.
Personal hygiene involves taking care of our bodily health and well-being through cleanliness. It means that you bathe using soap and water every day and shampoo your hair regularly. Check your hair for any signs of lice and dandruff, and use a medicated shampoo if necessary. When it comes to grooming, always wear clean and washed undergarments, clean and ironed clothes, and a fresh pair of socks every day. Sweaty clothes or smelly socks bother other people around you, and also cause breeding of germs. Always remember to clean or polish your shoes. You must also brush your teeth twice a day and floss once a day to avoid gum problems. Change your toothbrush every 3 months and use a good quality toothpaste. Use natural mouth fresheners like green cardamom or fennel seeds to keep bad breath in check. It's also very important to keep your nails clean and trimmed at all times. Dirt can easily accumulate beneath long nails and cause bacteria to breed. Dirty nails not only look terrible, but can cause food poisoning and other diseases too. Another very important thing to do is to wash your hands with soap and water before and after eating food, after using the toilet, and after coughing or sneezing. It's a good idea to keep a hand sanitizer handy for when soap and water are not available. Let's look at a scenario to understand the importance of good personal hygiene and grooming. Sam has recently joined a retail store in the sales department. He notices that customers approach him for queries, but they appear uncomfortable and then go to the next counter. Because of this, Sam's sales are suffering. He approaches his friend Chris for advice.
Chris, I am quite worried about not being able to make any sales. Customers come to me, but then they quickly go away without making a purchase.
I think I know what the problem is. Apparently you haven't been paying attention to grooming and hygiene.
What do you mean?
See, you haven't shaved for many days, and it looks like you need a shower. Your body odor could be turning customers away.
Actually, I had been keeping busy the last few days and didn't have time to take a bath.
Well, if you don't shower or wear sweaty clothes, everyone can smell it, even from a distance, Sam.
But what can I do if I sweat a lot and end up smelling even if I take a bath?
You can use deodorant on your armpits every day after you shower, Sam. But remember to not use too much, because the fragrance then gets too much and can make other people uncomfortable.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyhow, now that you have seen how your lack of grooming and hygiene is affecting your work, you must promise yourself to take care of it.
Thank you, Chris.
I hope you have checked your answers. Now, are you sure that all the answers are correct? What do you think? Are you sure? Now, again, I want to help you to check your answers. Now, you can check with me whether all the answers are correct or not. So, number A, personal hygiene means taking care of our bodily health and well-being through. Which one is the correct answer? You have to tell me now. Which one? See, your answer should be cleanliness, okay? It is said cleanliness in the audio. So, what's your answer? Cleanliness. That's good. Number B, dirty clothes and ... lead to the breeding of germs. So, what's your answer? All of you tell me. Now, you can check with me, okay? It is dirty hair, dirty shoes, or smelly socks. Which one? Now, it is smelly socks. See? Another. So, is it right, all of you? Number C, we had better change the toothbrush every blank space, month, 2 months, 3 months. Which one is correct? Have you written month or 2 months or 3 months? Oh, some of you month, and some of you said 2 months, and again some of you said 3 months. Can you tell me again which one is correct? Oh, it should be 3 months. So if you have written 1 month or 2 months, please correct. It should be 3 months, okay? And those who have encircled 3 months, now I want to clap for you. Next, number D. Long and dirty nails can cause skin problems, food poisoning, and dysentery. What is said in the audio? Is it skin problems or food poisoning or dysentery? Which one? Let me show you. The correct answer is food poisoning. What is it? Food poisoning. Now next, number A. Sam works in the sales department, marketing department, or land department. Which one is correct? Okay, let me show you the right answer is sales, you know. Similarly, number F, Sam hasn't blank space for many days. Combed his hairs, trimmed his nails, saved. Which one? Which word is used in the audio? All of you tell me once again. Oh yes, it is saved, you know. And number G, the last one is Chris suggests that Sam should not use deodorant or detergent or deodorizer to get rid of his sweating problem. Which one is correct again? And your answer should be detergent. See, should not. It is said that deodorant should be used, but not too much. Okay. So deodorant and deodorizer they are similar types of things to get rid of sweating problem. Okay. And detergent is not. So your answer should be detergent. Is it clear, all of you? If so, you have done a great job. Okay. Now I want to give you home assignment for your listening task. And what is that? Can you guess? It is sort some tips of personal hygiene and share them with your classmate. Now you can sort some let's say personal hygiene tips in the newspaper or maybe in the magazines, or you can sort the net, you know, you can find out from the website also, and you have to collect them, you have to enlist the tips, and you can share with your friends. Is that clear, all of you? After it, now we are going to do something again under, what is it? It is, yes, speaking skill. Now under speaking skill, what are we going to learn today? First of all, I want to show you an example. And this example says us that read and act out the following conversation. You have to just read, okay? And you try to find out the structure in the conversation and you have to tell me. I haven't highlighted the structure here because you try to find out, okay? Santi says, this is just ridiculous. And Selina says, Sneha, again, you know. And then again Santi says, yeah, Sneha, she just keeps asking for money. What do you think I should do? Selina says, well, if I were you, I would ask her not to beg. Now you can see the structure, Selina. Well, if I were you, I would ask her not to beg. I am not highlighting the structure here, okay? You just try to find out what we are going to learn. Now Santi says again, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Selina says, I'm unsure then. Perhaps you should try talking to Sneha about it. Santi, well, I've tried that, but she did not show any interest. Selina says, how about talking to her parents? Santi says, really, I'm not too sure about that. It might work, I suppose. See, this is a conversation. Now from here, can you guess what are we going to learn to express under speaking skill? Can you tell me? All of you please try to tell me. If I use this expression, for example, if I were you, I would ask her not to beg. So what type of language function does it serve, you know? So what is it? So for it, you can see again another example. How does the woman advise the girl? Now you can see, I have a severe toothache. I can't eat anything. She says she has a severe toothache, okay, and she can't eat anything. At that time, if you were there, what suggestion would you give? What advice would you give to this person? So can you tell me? Say, you give advice here, or you can say you give suggestion there. If I were you, I would go to a dentist. So for this, in English, we have some other expressions. When we want to advise or when we want to suggest someone, at that time, we can use some expressions in English. Now, can you tell me what are they? You can just tell me first. So what is it? For example, one we have already discussed. If I were you, I would plus infinitive, okay? F-I-N-I-T-I-V. Do you know the meaning of infinitive? In simple word, locally you can say Bhagwan, okay, infinitive. Then another structure, can you guess what is it? You can say, why don't you plus infinitive, 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 question mark. It looks question sentence, but it serves to express suggestion or advice, okay. Number 3, what can be the next one? Simply you can say, you should, should, should plus infinitive, infinitive, infinitive. See, there are many more, and I am going to present you some, and you can just note it down in your exercise book, and later we have to practice. See, one is you had better plus infinitive. You can add here, okay? You had better plus infinitive. All right, is it clear? You please, all of you write it down. Next one we have already discussed is, if I were you, I would plus infinitive. If I were you, I would go to a dentist. Would plus go. Go is infinitive here, okay? Another one is, why don't you plus infinitive. You can say, why don't you go to a dentist? See, I have a severe toothache, so I can suggest, why don't you go to a dentist? Similarly, if you want to use you had better, you can say, for example, you had better go to a dentist. See, you had better go to a dentist. So after better also we have to use infinitive. All right. Now another one, I just want to, you should plus infinitive. See, I have already mentioned here, you should plus infinitive. And I want to show you one more, okay? That is, you ought to plus infinitive. You can say, you ought to go to a dentist. Please repeat this sentence. You, O-U-G-S-T, ought to go to D-E-N-T-I-S-T, dentist. So if you have a tooth aching problem, then what you can do, I can say, to suggest you, to advise you, if I were you, I would go to a dentist. Another expression I can use, why don't you go to a dentist? Another structure I can use, you should go to a dentist. Another structure I can use, you had better go to a dentist. And again, you can use, you ought to go to a dentist. Okay, so these are basic, and then you have to add according to your necessity. Okay, according to your necessity, you have to add the ideas over there. Dear students, these are some expressions to advise or suggest, and my suggestion to you is that you had better search some more expressions in your English book. Maybe you can surf internet, and from somewhere you can collect and add more. Okay, that is your one task. Now after this one, let's learn to use these structures, expressions to suggest or to advise. For example, now work in pairs and take turns to explain your situation and give suggestions. Now here, A, tired, not sleep. Now this is a clue for you, and you have to suggest using this clue to A. For example, I want to show you. See, A is tired and cannot sleep. Okay, so have a hot drink. How can you suggest? You can say, for example, as a B, you can say, you had better, you had B-E-T-T-E-R, better. Can you tell me now? You had better, use that clues. Have a hot drink. Yes, you had better have a hot drink. D-R-I-N-K, drink. If I ask you to use another structure for the same situation, what do you say? Yes, you can say, why don't you, D-O-N-T, why don't you, let's say, have a hot drink? D-R-I-N-K, drink, question mark, okay? Why don't you have a hot drink? again you can use another expression. That can be you should then have a hot drink. Then what can be another one? Now you can say, if I were you. Yes, you are right. If I were you, I would, let's say, have a hot drink. Hot drink. Now you can tell me one more structure. What is that? Ought to. Yes, you ought to, O-U-G-S-T, ought to have a hot drink. See, any of the structures, or you can say any of the expressions we can use to give suggestion or advice. Say, you had better have a hot drink. Why don't you have a hot drink? You should have a hot drink. If I were you, I would have a hot drink. You ought to have a hot drink. This is how you have to act, okay? So for this one, all of you be ready for number B. And what is there in B? A has cold, no heating, feeling very much cold. Now here is put a sweater on, means you can suggest to put on sweater, okay? So how do you say? You all please try to tell me, try to advise me. For example, I am feeling cold and you suggest me to put a sweater. So how do you? Yes, you are right. You can say, if I were you, I would put a sweater on. And another expression you can use? Yes, why don't you put a sweater on? You can take help of this one. Another structure you can use. All of you please tell me. Yes, you should put a sweater on. That's fine. And again another structure you can use. Please all of you suggest me. I want to hear. Yes, that is, if I were you, I would put a sweater on. And another structure you can use. You ought to put a sweater on. So can all of you use these structures? See, these all are used to suggest or to advise anyone. Okay? Now similarly all of you practice once again for number C. For example, friend's birthday, no money. For example, let's say it is A and I can say myself also, I have my birthday and I invite you to attend my birthday, but you don't have money. So what do you say? How do you suggest your friend? See, simply again you can use the same thing. You had better pick a bunch of flowers. If we pick a bunch of flowers, we don't need to pay money for it, okay? So you can say you had better pick a bunch of flowers. Another structure, all of you tell me please. All of you, why don't you pick a bunch of flowers again? Wow, very nice. Another again. You should, then what? Pick a bunch of flowers. Very good expression. And you can use this one. What is it? If I were you, I would pick a bunch of flowers, So we don't need money for it. And another expression again you can use for the same suggestion is, you ought to pick a bunch of flowers. So like this, you have to do for number D and E. Okay? Hurt my leg. For example, I hurt my leg. Now you have to suggest me using this one. Now all of you tell me, I just want to listen. You all use these 5 expressions here. Suggesting me to go to see a doctor. Now I want to listen. All of you tell me please. Wow, great job you have done. Yes, you have said you had better go to see a doctor. And another again you have said, why don't you go to see a doctor? Fine. And again you have said, you should go to see a doctor. Wow. And again you have said, if I were you, I would go to see a doctor. And finally you have said that you ought to go to see a doctor. Very perfect, So like this, you can use these expressions to advise or to suggest. Okay? So now you are not feeling well, you can say the same thing. Now all of you use the 5 structures right now. Very quickly, I just want to listen to you. Yes, now you can say you had better take a rest for a while. And similarly, you can say, why don't you take a rest for a while? You can say, you should, let's say, take a rest for a while. And again, if I were you, I would take a rest for a while. And you ought to take a rest for a while. See? So it's very interesting. And from today onwards, after this class, when you want to give suggestion, when you want to give advice, don't forget to use these expressions in English. Okay? So for this one, don't forget again, I have shown you here. See, give suggestions in the following situation, use the given expressions. We have these expressions again, and the situations are for she struggles in English, although she works very hard. Okay, you can say, you had better practice more. If I were you, I would practice more. Why don't you practice more? You should practice more. You ought to practice more, in that way you can say. Similarly, for this one, all of you, give me advice. She has lost her mathematics book in his school. Your friend has lost. Now you have to give advice. Use any one of the expressions. All of you, please. Very good. Now another situation for you is she has put on weight, but she wants to be slim. It means that she is getting fatter and fatter, but she wants to be slim. Now you have to suggest. How do you suggest? Yes, simply you can say, you had better join a yoga class, Or you can say, if I were you, I would go morning walk, you can say. Why don't you go for a morning walk, you can say. You should do physical exercises, you can say. You ought to go for jogging also, you can say. This is how you have to suggest. Is it clear, all of you? Very good. Now, after this, a task for you that you have to do at your home in your free time, and this is give suggestion, advice to your friend in the following situations. The situations are, he or she is not improving English. So what is your suggestion? You have to give. He or she has lost his or her mobile phone. And then number C, he or she has hiccups for a long time. Do you know the meaning of hiccups? We can say hiccup, so you can do that one. Number D, his or her body is aching, body is paining, So what suggestion do you give? And he or she wants to learn computer. So what suggestion do you give? Dear students, I have already told you that we have practiced these 5 expressions in our today's class. So I have already told you that please search some more expressions from any source and you can add in these structures. Okay, this is also your another task. I hope you might have fully engaged and enjoyed our today's class for this listening and speaking activity. Now we have one more activity, that is pronunciation. You can see there are some words. How do you pronounce this word infrastructure? So all of you try to pronounce with me. Infrastructure. All of you once again. Infrastructure. Okay, now you practice it more in your free time at your home. Infrastructure. Now another is staff. What is it? Staff. Now another one we have is chronic. What is it? Chronic. Now next, all of you, strength. Pronounce it once again. Strength, Once again, strength. Now another word we have is milk. Milk. Next, school. What is it? School. Once again, school. Okay. Now, sealed. You have to pronounce sealed. What is it? Sealed. Now, curious. All of you pronounce curious. Curious. Okay. Stethoscope. What is it? Pronounce with me. Stethoscope. Once again, stethoscope. Now another. Blend. Again pronounce it. Blend. And next one is strand. What is it? Strand. Now pronounce once more. Strand. Now another word we have is sixth. What is it? Sixth. Sixth, Now we have very few words. Scream. How do you pronounce it? Scream. Another. Now you can practice more at your home. Dear students, I have interesting home assignment for you. What you have to do? Consult your e-dictionary and try to follow pronunciation of the following words. You can hear the pronunciation by the British people also or American people also. Listen these words how they pronounce using your e-dictionary. Or if you don't have your e-dictionary, you can use this option. Consult your dictionary and write the pronunciation of the following words. After these words, you can find its pronunciation. Okay, after this word immediately you can find the pronunciation of each word in your hard copy dictionary. This is your task. Okay, I hope you will enjoy doing this task. Dear students, we have come to the end of our today's class. I hope you might have learned better for listening, speaking and then pronunciation. Please keep them practicing in your free time. It's all for today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.